Hi class, and welcome to week 2 of our class together, and I'm really excited to continue our ongoing discussion about ethical and fair use of materials. And we think about these concepts under the broader umbrella of instructional design and technology. And I want to emphasize again that this is such a unique course in a program like this, and I'm very thankful that we're taking the time necessary to be able to walk through these issues very carefully and very critically. These topics are very important and significant as we begin to think about our profession, our work, and our career trajectory in this space. We want to make sure that we're doing right by the work that others have already taken a lot of time to design, to create, and to develop, and that includes maintaining the integrity of ideas, concepts, research, and artistic work, as well as making sure that we correctly attribute materials, obtain the proper permissions when needed, and respect the intellectual property rights of those who own those materials. So this week we'll begin to wade through some of the complexities of intellectual property, copyright laws, educational fair use, and related issues. At first, these topics may not seem especially important or significant, but they really are. As instructional designers and learning technologists, we will often consult with colleagues and collaborate alongside with other stakeholders in these situations. And we want to make sure that we're aware of the laws and expectations so that we can help our colleagues avoid mistakes or potential problems. So, for example, we may find ourselves in a situation where a colleague is using images that they may have found online and assume that because those images are found on the internet, that they're fair game and they can use it however they please. But they may find that they can use them however they want, edit them however they please, or place them on a website or in another online course without concern. But we want to be able to pause and ask the right questions. There may be Creative Commons content that we can fairly use, but even within Creative Commons licensing, there are different categories and conditions that we need to be very familiar with so that we can provide the right advice and counsel to them when it's relevant. And so their particular license may allow us to use the material free of charge and without asking permission, but it also may include certain stipulations. For example, we may be allowed to use the material, revise it, adapt it, or remix it, but we may still be required to attribute the Creative Commons license holder properly. So we'll be taking a closer look at some of these details involved in Creative Commons licensing as well. As a personal and professional example, at the university where I used to serve, one of the strategies that we were trying to incorporate more intentionally was the use of open educational resources, or OER. For the most part, we can take that kind of content that has been developed by others and use it freely. We can revise it, adapt it, and make it available to students to use without cost. But however, there are still stipulations within those licensing agreements. There may be certain things that we're not allowed to do, and it is our responsibility to read the fine print and make sure that we're using those materials in ways that are fair, appropriate, and respectful of the copyright involved. So I'd say this strongly because we should think of ourselves in many ways as gatekeepers in this area. As we review materials and collaborate with colleagues, these are the kinds of issues we need to be able to identify and raise in conversation. For instance, we may need to ask, I noticed that you're using 5 scanned chapters from this book. Does this raise any concerns related to intellectual property rights? Are we adhering to the rights of the copyright holder? These are important questions, and it is up to us to understand them and to be able to pause when we have concerns. Educational fair use does offer some additional leniency, but there are still important considerations and conditions involved with that as well. We need to be aware of those issues and make sure that we're respecting the rights associated with those works as well. All of this is important as we continue developing as instructional designers and learning technologists. We need to be informed about copyright laws, fair use, Creative Commons licensing, intellectual property, and educational fair use as well, so that we can bring those topics into conversations with other stakeholders. In doing so, we help protect not only our institutions, but also our integrity and character as leaders in Christian organizations. So, with that being said, if you have any questions or concerns or examples you would like to share, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any of those kinds of questions and also bring those examples into our discussion this week so that we can all learn and grow together. And I think it would be helpful for us to bridge the gap between the theoretical ideas we're reading and watching about and the practical realities we may encounter in our work. These are challenging and complex topics, but they are important ones, and we need to make sure that we have our eyes wide open as we begin to think through some of these important questions, and even though they're complex and can be a little tricky to wrap our heads around. So I'm looking forward to interacting with you again this week in the discussion forum. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let me know. And I'm really looking forward to a really robust discussion this week. Have a great week.